something snapped inside Denny Hamlin. Not just frustration, not just anger. This was something bigger, a full-on call to arms. After weeks of rising tension and one particularly reckless showdown at Iowa Speedway, Denny Hamlin stepped up to the microphone and did what most drivers are too afraid to do. He called out Kyle Larson and Chase Elliott by name for what he says is flat-out dirty racing. And now, the internet is on fire. Because Hamlin didn't hold back, not even close. It all went down during what should have been just another mid-season race at Iowa. But when you get two Hendrick Motorsports drivers like Larson and Elliott going at it like it's the last lap at Daytona, things escalate fast. And boy, did they ever. What started as an aggressive battle for position turned into a messy, dangerous, and downright disrespectful performance. The tension had been brewing for months. You could feel it. But in Iowa, it exploded. Elliott and Larson, already in a tight points battle, decided they weren't just going to race each other. They were going to outdo each other, no matter who got caught in the crossfire, including Denny Hamlin. Stage 2 of the race was where things really went off the rails. Larson and Elliott were laying back, deliberately, giving themselves a run at the restart. And then, boom. 4 wide into the turn, chaos all around them. Hamlin was behind them, and he had a front row seat to the madness. "It's a complete disregard for the people that you're laying back from," Hamlin said on his Actions Detrimental podcast. "You're just willing to stick them in a 4-wide situation where you know they're going to wreck, or someone's going to wreck, and you just don't care." Hamlin didn't mince words. He didn't hide behind vague language or soft jabs. He came out swinging, accusing both Larson and Elliott of intentionally manipulating the restart, laying back 3 car lengths, then blasting forward at speeds 10 miles per hour faster than the rest of the field. The goal? Squeeze the field, shock the system, make a move so dangerous it forces drivers into errors. According to Hamlin, they both tried to shoot the gap at the same time in the middle. They both deserved to wreck. Strong words, but he wasn't done. The podcast episode lit up immediately. Social media caught fire with clips of Hamlin calling on NASCAR to do something, anything, about this kind of racing behavior. "You're not allowed to do that," Hamlin said flatly. "NASCAR's not calling it." And that right there, that's the heart of the controversy. Not just that Larson and Elliott pulled this stunt, but that NASCAR let it happen, over and over again. As Hamlin put it, do it as much as you can get away with it, because apparently, no one's going to stop you. Meanwhile, Kyle Larson wasn't exactly quiet himself. After getting caught up in multiple late race incidents, he went off on his team radio. "How much of ******* room do I have to leave people?" he shouted in frustration. "I've been trying to be a good teammate, a good competitor, and it hasn't gotten me anywhere for the last hour." Larson was heated, defeated, and completely out of patience, and you could hear it in every word. And then there's the bigger picture. 12 cautions, 72 laps under yellow, 7 of those cautions in the final stage alone. The race turned into a demolition derby, and for Hamlin, it wasn't just frustrating, it was embarrassing. "Everything sucked," he said on his podcast. "I sucked, the car sucked, the tire sucked, the next gen sucks. It's just everything. Everything sucked." That wasn't just venting. That was a veteran of the sport sounding the alarm. He was furious not just at his fellow drivers, but at the whole system, from Goodyear tires that didn't wear down enough to NASCAR officials who refused to penalize dangerous behavior. "The attitude of the cars are wrong," Hamlin said. "It's wrong, it's wrong, it's wrong, please fix it, it's wrong." You could hear the desperation in his voice. This wasn't just about Iowa. This was about what NASCAR is becoming. And maybe the scariest part? Denny Hamlin's not alone. Fans are starting to ask hard questions about safety, about fairness, about whether this sport they love is turning into a circus, where reckless driving goes unchecked and teammates throw each other under the bus for a few extra points. Hendrick Motorsports, one of NASCAR's elite teams, now finds itself at the center of a firestorm, with its 2 top drivers openly clashing on track and other veterans calling for intervention. But that's only the beginning, because what Hamlin said next, that's where things really explode. So here's where it all boils over. Denny Hamlin wasn't just mad about what Larson and Elliott did. He wasn't just annoyed by the chaos they caused or the wrecks they triggered. No, Hamlin took it a step further. He made it crystal clear. He wants NASCAR to step in, not with a warning, not with a slap on the wrist, but with real action. Penalties, enforcement, accountability. Because according to Hamlin, this is about more than just one race. It's about a dangerous pattern forming right under NASCAR's nose, and nobody's doing anything to stop it. You could feel the frustration pouring out of him as he kept going. "What I'm calling on is NASCAR officiating to do something about it," he said, "because it's a complete disregard for the people that you're laying back from." Think about that. Denny Hamlin is accusing Kyle Larson and Chase Elliott, two of the sport's biggest names, of flat-out not caring if they wreck the people around them. And in Hamlin's eyes, the reason they keep getting away with it? Because no one's brave enough to hold them accountable. Not their teams, not the officials, not even NASCAR itself. And that's where things get even more tense. Because the moment Hamlin said that, fans started picking sides. Some backed Denny all the way. They saw the chaos at Iowa, saw the Hendrick teammates racing like bitter enemies, and they agreed, someone needs to put a stop to it. But others? They weren't having it. They say Hamlin's just bitter because he didn't have the speed. That he's blaming others instead of owning up to his own bad race. But here's the thing. Hamlin did own it. "I sucked, the car sucked, the tire sucked," he admitted. "It's just everything. Everything sucked." He didn't dodge responsibility. He just pointed out that the chaos was bigger than him. Meanwhile, let's not forget what this means for Larson and Elliott. These two guys aren't just teammates. They're both fighting for a championship. Elliott sits second in points. Larson is right behind in third. But after what happened in Iowa, you wouldn't know they were on the same team. Larson was openly angry. Elliott was silent but clearly frustrated. The fact that these two collided multiple times during the same race, while fighting each other more than the rest of the field, shows just how messy things have gotten inside Hendrick Motorsports. And now, everyone's wondering, is this rivalry going to explode next? Let's be real. NASCAR has seen plenty of teammate drama before. But this is different, because now we've got one of the sport's most influential veterans dragging it all out into the open. Hamlin didn't whisper these complaints behind closed doors. He broadcasted them to the entire fan base, on his podcast, with quotes going viral across social media in minutes. That kind of pressure, it doesn't just fade away. NASCAR officials are listening. Team owners are watching. Sponsors are getting nervous. Because when one of your top stars says both drivers deserve to wreck, it's not just a soundbite, it's a warning. Now here's the irony. Kyle Larson, the same guy getting slammed for wild driving, recently said he thinks NASCAR has turned into a joke. On another podcast, Larson talked about how movies like Talladega Nights hurt the sport by making it seem like a joke to outsiders. "I think it turned our sport into a joke, unfortunately," Larson said. "But after what happened at Iowa, you've got fans saying the same thing about him. Because if you're putting drivers four wide just to gain a few spots on a restart, if you're blowing up your own teammates' chances for a win, what exactly are we watching here?" And still, NASCAR hasn't said a word. No penalties, no statements, just silence. That silence, it's getting louder by the day. Fans are starting to wonder if NASCAR has lost control of its own rulebook. If the code of conduct that built this sport is being ignored in favor of drama and highlight reels. And Denny Hamlin, love him or hate him, is the one voice saying what nobody else will. So now we're at a crossroads. Larson and Elliott are locked in a teammate war. Hamlin is rallying for officiating to finally step in. And NASCAR? They're on the hot seat. Because if nothing happens after this, if there are no changes before the next green flag, what kind of message does that send to the garage? That chaos wins? That wrecking your teammate is just hard racing? That laying back, blasting forward, and shoving the field four wide is fair game now? That's the question every fan is asking right now. And it's the one NASCAR better have an answer for, before the next wreck turns into something worse. So what do you think? Is Denny Hamlin right to call them out? Should NASCAR finally step in? Or is this just racing the way it's always been? Messy, unpredictable, and fueled by rivalry. Let me know below, because this story, it's far from over.